Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Martha's Take. Okay, so let's get into the video. So today's video is about Love is Blind, but before I get into that, I have to first apologize for being gone for so long. Life has been lifing in a good way, but also I wanted to improve my quality on here, so I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you can see the difference. Yeah, so let's get into it. Okay, so I want to talk about Love is Blind. Love is Blind DC. We're gonna start with Ashley and Tyler. They are the most talked about couple of this season. And I feel like my take on this is a little bit different from what I've been seeing online. So I kind of feel bad for Ashley in particular. I feel like she's getting a lot of hate simply for sticking by her man. And from what we saw in the pod, Ashley is very much my man kind of woman. And her dad even said that she was a ride or die. So I really wasn't surprised by the fact that by the time we got to the reunion, they were still together and they were still married, and she was defending him from the from the allegations of him being a deadbeat dad, from him I think cheating on his ex-fiance, from him owing women money. I mean, there's a lot going on with Tyler, and I just kind of feel like everything is happening all at once, and we're not giving her grace, we're not giving her time to process everything, to kind of consolidate her own feelings about Tyler, because we have to remember a lot of this information is coming out now, but they've been married for a year. They've been through this crazy experience together and they've made it out the other side. So I kind of feel like we need to give her some time. And even if she doesn't divorce him, I still feel like Ashley is getting more hate now than Tyler was, because she's not doing what the internet wants her to do, and I just think that's not fair. Everyone has a different relationship, everyone will accept different things. I think it's a little bit unfair for people to demand for her to divorce her husband, to break up with him, to kind of shame him, and I think that's a little bit unfair. That's what I think. Let me know what you guys think, because everyone online is killing Ashley. And I think Tyler, he's not a great guy, but I think he seems to be in a point of his life where he wants a normal life, and it seems like everything he's done in the past has been a little bit non-traditional, a little bit messy, and does that mean he's not owed love? Just because you've fathered 3 kids, does that mean you don't deserve love? I don't know, the situation is really messy, so let's see what happens. But that's my thoughts thus far on Ashley and Tyler. Quickly moving on to Alex and Tim. I think Alex and Tim were one of my least favorite couples this season. There was just no chemistry, no love, no life. I feel like both of them were quite boring, quite sad, quite depressing to watch on screen. Especially Tim. I feel like Tim always looks like he's about to burst out in tears or like start a fight. He always seems a bit angry. I feel like he's like calm and cool, but there's like an underlying anger which I can witness. I can see that in him. He seems like someone who's not very happy within himself. He has been through a lot of trauma. He's lost 2 of his siblings, but I felt like every time I saw him on screen, he was crying and talking about his sisters, which was very depressing, and I just didn't really see what they connected on, apart from the fact that he was just trauma dumping. And I feel like with Alex, she's also kind of like not interesting in any way. She's not really fun, she's a bit boring, she seems lazy, she seems bored of the process, she doesn't seem in love. Like, watching them, it didn't feel like you're watching 2 people in love in the honeymoon phase. It really felt like you were watching 2 people who've been married for 20 years who no longer like each other. That's how I felt. So I was not surprised that they didn't make it to the aisle. I was not surprised that they were still arguing at the reunion like a year later. I think they were just not a good match, and that's okay. Okay, so moving on to Hannah and Nick. I had to make notes, guys, to remember people's names. So Hannah and Nick. So I'm gonna be controversial because I really enjoyed Nick getting exposed at the reunion, because it just wasn't making sense throughout the whole season how badly and how rudely and how bitchy Hannah was. And he was just always like, Hannah's so great, Hannah's so good. He was being fake, and I was so happy he got exposed. And I'm still seeing a lot of women, again, coming for Hannah and coming for Marissa for exposing him. But I really feel like it had to be done. It provided us with a little bit more context of why he was kind of acting and faking in front of the cameras. And I really feel like the fact that he wrote he wants to be the most famous person from Love is Blind, to me that tells me everything I need to know. I do not doubt that man is going to be on Perfect Match. I think he never really liked Hannah, but he knew in order for him to get more screen time, he had to stay and just put up with how she was treating him, because she was treating him bad. And I think the thing that I liked about Marissa stepping in, she acknowledged that Hannah was a bitch. However, Nick, let's not act like you were the perfect man. And it took Marissa, it took Steven, it took Monica, and finally when Ramses said something, that's when he admitted that he was underwhelmed.
Everybody messes up, everybody says things that maybe you regret, but let's keep it 100, man. Like, things were said. Like, this is nothing, like, it's not a dig against you, but like, it's, you know, this is the moment to take accountability. Like, we're not perfect.
Yeah, I said I was underwhelmed when I saw Hannah at the reveal. I never said she was her grenade.
But he was lying throughout the whole thing. Until Ramses spoke, Nick was pretending. And I think it just annoyed me how no one called him out for just lying on the stage. And I don't understand how people are still defending him. He got exactly what he wanted, and it's just annoying to me. I'm sorry, Hannah was annoying. Hannah looks good, first of all. Hannah was annoying, she was rude, she was hard to watch. But I think for me, I just hate people who come on this kind of show and just want to get famous. And I think because Love is Blind is so popular, we're always going to get those kind of people. But I feel like Netflix needs to do a better job at figuring out who's here for love and who's here for fame, because the fame doesn't last that long. Where's Batiste now? No one knows. Let's talk about Ramses and Marissa. See, I found this couple really confusing. I didn't really understand either of them as separately as individuals, and I didn't really understand them together. Ramses is just not the type of person I would ever date, so I didn't really see what Marissa saw in him. And for me personally, Marissa's energy was a lot. Even in the pod, I was like, oh my god, girl, calm down. She has a very young energy, which is fine, but I can see how that could weigh on someone over a long period of time. However, I do think that Ramses definitely should have spoken up earlier, and the only reason he didn't is he wanted more screen time, because why would you wait until her mum is coming to get ready for the weddings for you to say something? I thought that was really mean, and I think he was very cold. He wasn't as cold as Tim, but I think he was very cold when he broke up with her. And the fact that he didn't even want to date her. Fine, you don't want to get married, but at least date the woman who said you love, the woman you've been sleeping with, the woman you said is like no other love. Why don't you want to date her? I think for me, you didn't even want to try. And I think for me, that suggests that he was here for the wrong reasons. Perhaps he just wanted some screen time, perhaps he's a singer. He looks like an artistic type of guy, so perhaps he's trying to promote something. I really can't remember what he does for work, but it just didn't make sense to me. I feel like even Clay from last season still wanted to date AD after he broke up with her, and the fact that he didn't even want to see the woman again, I think it says a lot about him as a person. And I don't know, those kind of men kind of scare me personally. And then we move on to Steven and Monica. I hated Steven, guys. I really hate Steven. I didn't like the comment that he made towards Monica about her being a mutt. I think that was highly inappropriate. I think his whole story about finding out he's like 0.0000% black, so what, who cares? I found him like hypersexual, really inappropriate considering you're just meeting this woman for the first time. The things that he was talking about, like Steven, oh, like I hated Steven. Every time I saw him on my screen, I was like, why is this man on this show? I really feel like Monica, she got the short end of the stick. Monica was bougie, but she stood in her bouginess, which I liked. And I feel like it would have been so nice to see Monica being paired up with someone who's more equally yoked. I feel like Steven in the real world never ever would have had a chance with someone like Monica. And the fact that he was a cheater in his past and he's cheating again, I'm like, Steven, why are you here? And be careful of the men who say that I'm in therapy and I've thought about it and you know, listen, I'm a therapist, right? So I'm not saying going to therapy is not a good thing, but I'm saying be careful of men who use that as a way of saying they're working on themselves, because going to therapy alone is not the work. It doesn't necessarily mean because someone's coming to therapy that they're necessarily engaging with the process and they're doing the work that they have to do. Some people just come to say, I've done it. And I think Steven definitely gives me, I've been to therapy so I can say I've been to therapy, but clearly he still has a lot of work to do. I really like Monica. I thought she was bougie, but I thought her bouginess was kind of fun. I would have loved to see her with someone a little bit more equally yoked. I think she would have been good on camera, because she was quite funny and she had my kind of sense of humor. She was a bit condescending to Steven at some point. There was some time when they went to Mexico, I remember thinking, oh, she's speaking to him a little bit derogatory, which no one would enjoy. But we didn't get to see enough Monica for my liking because Steven ruined everything. And last but not least, the kind of truly married happy couple, the only one I think we've got this season, we've got Tyler and Garrett. I really like this couple, especially Tyler. There's something about her, Taylor I think, especially Taylor. I think there's something about her, the fact that she's so smart, so beautiful. She kind of has it all going on, so easy. She seems to get on with the ladies really easily as well. She kind of seems like the whole package. And I think Garrett is really lucky to have her in her life. And I think it's good that she was able to compromise about where they were going to be able to live. And I'm kind of happy for them. There's just not much to say. One thing I loved about them that made me think they're going to make it is the fact that they got married on the same date both of their parents got married, and I think that's like a nice sign. So yeah, this season was crazy. I've got a lot more to say, but I don't want to make this video too long. But I had to get my thoughts out there. I wanted to come back on YouTube. And yeah guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think in the comments. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe. And I'm back next week with a new video. Bye.